All Blacks in Namibia, folks. 71 points to 3. That's a bit of a hiding. We're going to go through some of the key events, some stats, and you guys can let us know your thoughts. I'm still a bit crook, but it was nice to see, from an All Blacks point of view, a bunch of tries on the board. I'm not sure how much this game will mean. In the scheme of things, it was good to see some guys get some minutes under their belt, though, although the fact that De Groot gets a red card in this game is not going to set the All Blacks up so well, depending on how long he gets banned for. Interestingly, the All Blacks did Kapua Pango for this one. They may be going to do Kapua Pango as their haka for all of the games at this World Cup. It's tended to be that they do Kapua Pango for what they consider to be the big games, but they seem to be just doing Kapua Pango right now. So, yeah, that was the haka they did, and then they got the scoring under the way on 1 minute and 35 seconds. All Blacks, man, just trying to blow the Namibians away early. Great hands, little dink through, bit of razzle-dazzle. Roygaard, who gets man of the match, he gets the first try. I mean, honestly, surely Roygaard's the second halfback now. I know this was Namibia, we put 70 points on them, but he just offers something different to Christie. I think as a bench guy, to add impact, Roygaard is the guy. What can I say? 7-0 All Blacks. Namibia, with their first chance, went for touch, but they ended up knocking it on. And to be honest, in this game, Namibia probably should have scored more than 3 points. At some point, you got to credit the All Blacks guys for holding them out, not letting them score a try. But, I mean, they had some chances, Namibia. Just key moments, they would knock it on or lose a line or something like that. But, yeah, Namibia conceded a second one after D-Mac had gone close from a Bodie dink through, but he dotted it down just prior to the goal line, which was unfortunate. But from the resulting scrum, Roygaard ended up getting the second try of the game. Namibia got on the board on 10 minutes when they opted for a penalty this time, so at least they didn't get nilled. But that's the final scoring of them. D-Mac gets one. Goodness me, what was that one about? I can't even remember. Was that the Roygaard one where he popped it to from the scrum? Great supporting line. Fainga'anuku got one. He looked the sharper of the two wings. Early on, I felt like Caleb Clark was kind of running in mud, to be honest. He looked a bit slow. And it did start raining a lot, but I mean, Caleb Clark did crank through some run meters throughout the game of his own. Malan, the outside back for Namibia, went off with a pretty serious injury, which is bad, but the crowd showed him some great respect as they kind of gave one of the biggest cheers of the night, was when he kind of put his hand up to say that he was okay, as he was kind of stretched off. ALB got one. That one was some great footballing skills. And D-Mac got his second before half-time, which was good for my fantasy team because I picked him as my captain this week. So 2 tries for him. Kicked a few conversions. But yeah, half-time, it's possession 72-28. Clean breaks 11-0. Namibia has missed more tackles than the All Blacks have made. They've missed 23. The All Blacks have had to make 19. Run meters is 432 to 65. As I said, though, like Namibia have had lineouts not straight in New Zealand territory, a dropout go out on the full, which put themselves under pressure, and then like restarting from a kickoff where they just kicked it dead. So, yeah, they've partly exacerbated the scoreline, Namibia, with some just basic errors, sadly. Maybe it's the occasion, I don't know, but they shouldn't maybe have been down by as much as they were. I mean, the All Blacks are pretty good, so what can you say? Second half, there's a bit of a bizarre touch kick that loses ground from the Namibians where they get a penalty. They decide to kick it out, but he kind of kicks it slightly backwards. This is again what I'm talking about, just skills maybe not quite being there, and then they knocked it on at the line out, which was a bit of a let off. The All Blacks changed their props. De Groot scores pretty much straight away. They're getting scrum advantages. I mean, the scrum is largely pretty dominant. Dalton goes through for a nice try. Harvey gets one. Again, just like running a line pretty much straight through. Caleb Clark didn't look like he was going to get one, but finally got one from a Moonga dink through after he'd come on. Caleb Clark did really well to kind of pull it in one-handed, and then Rico showed some sweet gas when he came on to get one kind of towards the death. But before that, De Groot on 71 minutes had put in a pretty upright tackle. And at the time I thought maybe it's going to be yellow because I saw the Telfa one at the French game the other day. And I thought, well, if that one was yellow, maybe this will be yellow. But nah, it comes back as red. So that's troublesome from New Zealand because we've also got Lomax, who's at least at the moment out with a gash on his leg. I know he's a tight head and De Groot's a loose head, but it means we've only got 4 props left. It would mean we'd have to bring in Tamaiti Williams, who's the youngster at 22, but he's a big old unit. So he might need to get a game. Although the All Blacks don't play for a couple of weeks now, so we'll have to wait and see what happens with the judiciary for De Groot. I think if he goes to tackle school, he should be able to get a discount, right? And then how quickly Lomax can kind of recover from his injury. But, yeah, Namibia, man, in that second half, they had a tap chance in New Zealand's 22, immediately got turned over by Vaa'i. That was the biggest boo of the night when Vaa'i won that turnover because they just wanted to see Namibia get a try. They had a 5-metre scrum and Stevens, the halfback, just knocked it on. So, like I said, Namibia was probably good for at least 1 try in this game, but just couldn't make it happen. So, I think they'll be disappointed. Even though they were never going to win this game, they would like to keep the scoreline a bit closer. I think Namibia had just too many kind of crucial errors, like unforced errors as well at bad times. And for the All Blacks, the bad news is the red card. It was pleasing to see D-Mac get a run, pass really well. Roygaard just looked phenomenal. As I said, I think he has to be the second choice halfback in the squad. I know he's not got the experience of Christie, but I think he offers more than Christie in terms of his role as a danger ball carrier, and then he's able to set up tries. He got 3 try assists in this game, admittedly in a pretty lopsided contest. Yeah, Fainga'anuku looked pretty sharp. Caleb Clark ended up cranking through the meters, even though I thought he started and kind of looked a bit slow. But yeah, Whitelock's still our workhorse player. Kept chasing things all night. Yeah, run meters finished 733 to 217. Possession 64-36. Clean breaks is 22-2. Defenders beaten is 43-11. The All Blacks line-out goes 11 from 11, whereas the Namibians are 13 from 18, so too many missed chances. Although also considering for the All Blacks, the discipline. Like, how do you score 71 points and still concede more penalties than the opposition? 12-7. Why are we conceding that many penalties? That doesn't make sense. Hardwick, he gets subbed pretty early, but still makes 11 from 11 tackles in a team which missed, like I said, a lot of tackles. Loubser, the fullback, had 34 metres and 3 defenders beaten. Caleb Clark, man, 116 metres, 6 clean breaks, 4 defenders beaten. You might say he probably should have got on the board more than once with those numbers. Fainga'anuku, 88 metres, a clean break, 8 defenders beaten, couple of try assists. Roygaard, 2 tries, 2 assists, 45 metres, 3 breaks, 5 defenders beaten. Whitelock, 8 from 8 tackles. Yeah. Nisbo, the commentator, seems to be... I don't know, man. At one point he called Namibia Zimbabwe. And then, like, right at the end of the game, because you guys, if you weren't listening in New Zealand, would have had the international commentary, but we had Nisbo. And, like, right at the end of the game, when the ref was clearly going to comment to the captains about the De Groot card and what was happening with it, Nisbo was like, oh, what's going on here? Why is he calling the captains over? Man, maybe guy needs to retire. Don't know. But just seems to be a little bit... I guess we can all have our moments. Anyway, the All Blacks have got Italy on the 30th of September. So a couple of weeks between now and then. Namibia have got France next week. So hopefully for Namibia, they can just cut down on some of those basic errors, man. I feel like the game could have been a bit closer. You know, start with a little bit more just a solid start. Make some more tackles. Let the game settle. But scoring a minute 35 seconds in didn't do them any good. But yeah, well done All Blacks. Barring the red card. She has a pretty good day at the office. You guys let us know your thoughts, and yeah, I'll talk to you guys again soon. See you later.